Mike McFadden.
So good morning again, Mike McFadden from Eugene. And on the strategic plan, I just want to bring up a few points that I think are important to keep in mind as you work forward through this. I mentioned this before, but I think that the basis for any kind of economic development or any kind of strategic plan would be public safety. We passed the public safety levy a year ago, and I'd really like to see some more forthcoming details about how the board plans to connect that with the district attorney's office being underfunded and to really coordinate amongst all the aspects of our public safety system to have a functioning whole rather than maybe mitigating how many people are let out of jail early. I mean, the jail's still not fully opened up, and you were mentioning the Server Youth Center also have capacity. So I'm just saying the jail levy's not going to be enough to fix the public safety problem. You're going to have to come up with more ways to address that. Especially, I'm concerned about the district attorney's office not prosecuting 30% of the felonies that take place. I think that's a huge problem in many ways. But on the economic development front itself, I think that it's important that we all admit that we're still in a challenging economic situation. I want to remind you that a lot of young people my age have far higher rates of unemployment than just the general statistical level. So you really need to work on finding ways to put young people to productive employment in Lane County because we face more challenging economic and employment situations than people who are older than us. I mentioned to Commissioner Stewart, and he acknowledged that, the wages have been stagnant. People's earnings haven't really gone up that much in the past 15 years. So when the county comes along asking for more fees and taxes here and there and everywhere, a lot of people find themselves not knowing how they're going to come up with any extra payments or any extra increases in their cost of living. I know a lot of people who work 40 hours a week and they have a hard time buying new clothes and shoes. I fortunately don't have that problem, but it's out there, and I guarantee you. And just on the economy as a whole, I think it's important to remember that the free market in the United States isn't nearly as free or nearly as awesome and productive as people like to say it is. A lot of the wealth that was accumulated from the 1800s into the 1900s was literally based on the theft of labor from African Americans and Chinese coolies building the railroads. None of these people were ever justly compensated for their labor in back pay. And then think of all of the land and resources that was stolen from all the native people through all of the fraudulent means that the United States government used and all of their back dealing on the treaties and breaking their treaties. No just compensation's ever been given for those lands that were taken. And in fact, I think that many people, including myself, would argue that what happened was a wholesale genocide against those people and a complete extermination of their cultures, reducing them down to like a group of people that couldn't even fight back against what was being imposed upon them. So a lot of this economic success the United States has is really just a false mirage that's taken from theft from others, and that's not sustainable, and it's not going to go on forever.
Thank you. We have no one else signed up for public comment. Is there anyone